Very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Ashwarya Kapoor. Let us start with the headlines. Prime Minister Modi to chair Cabinet Committee on Security meeting on Pulwama terror attack. Home Minister Rajnath Singh to review situation in Srinagar. NIA team to join the investigation. India tells Pakistan to dismantle its terror havens, says Jaish-e-Mohammed's Masood Azhar given freedom to target India. MEA urges United Nations to declare Azhar a terrorist. World leaders stand with India. US, Russia, UN and other countries assure that they will back New Delhi's efforts to combat the menace of terrorism. CBSE Class 12 examinations begin from today. 13 lakh students to appear for the tests across the country. And PV Sindhu storms into badminton nationals semi-finals, beats Riya Mukherjee in just 28 minutes. Saina Nehwal reaches quarter-finals. The top story in the wake of the biggest terror attack on the CRPF convoy in Jammu and Kashmir's Pulwama district, Home Minister Rajnath Singh will visit the state today to take stock of the situation. Rajnath Singh will also hold review meetings with the senior security and police officers to make ground-level assessment and review further operational actions. On Thursday, Singh assured the people of the country that the attack carried out by Pakistan-sponsored Jaish-e-Mohammed will be avenged. Meanwhile, the Cabinet Committee on Security headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi will meet today to discuss the security situation against the backdrop of the attack. The Home Ministry is also closely monitoring the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. Now, experts of the Anti-Terror Commando Force, National Security Guard and the investigators of the National Investigation Agency are being sent to Jammu and Kashmir to join the probe into the terror attack. Reportedly, a 12-member team of the NIA will visit the site of the terror attack.
हमारे सीआरपीएफ के बहादुर जवानों पर जो आतंकवादी हमला हुआ है, वो पाकिस्तान स्थित और उनके द्वारा संरक्षित आतंकवादी संगठन जैश-ए-मोहम्मद ने किया है, जिसकी मैं और सारा देश भर्त्सना करता है। इस आतंकी हमले का समुचित जवाब देने के लिए सारा देश एकजुट है। हम अपनी जिम्मेदारियों को अच्छी तरह समझते हैं और देश की जनता को यह भरोसा देते हैं कि इस पर जो भी कार्रवाई करना आवश्यक है उसे करने में हम कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ेंगे।
Remember, at least 37 CRPF jawans were killed in the suicide attack on Thursday in one of the deadliest terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir. The incident took place when a Jaish-e-Mohammed suicide bomber rammed a vehicle carrying over 100 kilograms of explosives into a bus carrying CRPF jawans in Pulwama district that also left many critically wounded. The attack reduced the bus belonging to the 76th Battalion of the force to a mangled heap of iron. Many other vehicles were also damaged in the attack. More than 2,500 Central Reserve Police Force personnel, many of them returning from leave to rejoin duty in the valley, were travelling in the convoy of 78 vehicles when they were ambushed on the Srinagar-Jammu highway in Awantipora in South Kashmir. The Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed terror group has claimed responsibility for the attack. The police have identified the suicide bomber as Adi Ahmed from Pulwama. And following the terror attack, a big high alert really has been sounded in many areas. The security forces have cordoned off the entire area and launched searches. Now, this is one of the worst terror strikes in the state since the Uri attack in 2016. All right, let's get all the updates we have with us. Our colleagues are joining us. We have with us Panchanan Mishra joining us from the national capital. We also have with us Akhilesh Suman with us. First, let's go across to Panchanan. Panchanan, we'd like to know from you now. Prime Minister Modi is going to chair Cabinet Committee on Security meeting on the Pulwama attack. Also, Home Minister Rajnath Singh is going to review the situation in Srinagar. What are the updates?
Exactly, Aishwarya. After this gruesome attack, the government is very much concerned at the high level, and the talks are between the Home Minister and Prime Minister was held there yesterday. And today there will be a Cabinet Committee on Security meeting at Prime Minister's residence around 9:15. There may be some big decisions we are expecting in this Cabinet Committee on Security, and there will be a total review regarding this situation arising after this terror attack. And Home Minister Rajnath Singh will also be going to Kashmir with senior officials and also intelligence officials. So we have to see that what government is now going to take is going to take any action or anything comes out from this meeting. But it is certain that many countries has denounced this terror attack, and government of India must be under pressure to act against these terror groups, or as we have seen that Jaish-e-Mohammed was involved there in this attack. So it has to be seen that any big decision comes out from this CCS.
Absolutely, but at the same time, Panchanan, it is very important that any sort of knee-jerk reaction is not going to be, whenever such a terror attack happens, there is always a call for, there should be some more surgical strikes and, these sort of things. But at the same time, any sort of knee-jerk reaction is to be avoided. You stay with us. Panchanan, we'll just come back to you. Let's go across to my colleague, Akhilesh Suman now. Akhilesh, now more than 37 CRPF men have been killed in the worst terror attack on forces in Kashmir. What is the update today? Because we understand that, Home Minister is also going to review the situation in Srinagar today.
Yes, Home Minister will leave after the CCA meeting, CCS meeting, the Swarya. But the major question is that how could this happen again? And when India was telling all over the world, and it has requested all international community, including United Nations Security Council, to ban Masood Azhar. You know that yesterday after the incident, all four of the 5 United Nations Security Council permanent members have issued a statement other than China. So you can understand that how China is feeling shy about combating terrorism in the whole region, and how China is trying to use terrorism as a tool to take mileage over India. And India has requested many a times that China should cooperate with India in banning Masood Azhar, even when the JEM has been banned by the United Nations, but its head Masood Azhar is not banned. So it is a major, international question that whether international community wants to address the question of terrorism or not. And that is why our missions all over the world have been active over the incident, and one after another condolences messages are pouring in, and also that they are telling international community is telling that they stand with India on this issue, barring the 2 countries, Pakistan and China. So it is really very sad time that the 2 neighbors, Pakistan and China, is not coming to terms how to combat terrorism. But India is trying all its guts to mobilize the whole international community, and I think this is the testing time for international community, that whether it comes unitedly to attack terrorism or not. The issue, becomes very important given the fact that, America, Russia, France, UK, everyone has been condemning, including Australia, many Commonwealth nations, everyone is condemning but the 2 countries. So I think, India is trying to garner support from all over the world, and whatever action has to be taken, with very cool mind, and very, it has to be very decisive action so that international community stands with us, Aishwarya.
Absolutely. You stay with us, Akhilesh. We'll just come back to you. Meanwhile, India came down heavily on Pakistan over the Pulwama terror attack carried out by Jaish-e-Mohammed. It has asked the neighbouring country to stop supporting terrorists and dismantle terror infrastructure operating from its soil. The MEA in a statement blamed the Pakistan government for providing full freedom to the dreaded terrorist Masood Azhar-led organisation to carry out and expand its operations in Pakistan and target India with full impunity. The government also demanded the international community to take steps to support support the proposal to list terrorists, including JEM chief Masood Azhar, as a designated terrorist and to ban terrorist organizations operating from terrorist control by Pakistan. All right, let's go back to Akhilesh. Akhilesh, Modi government has come down heavily on Pakistan really for its patronage to Jaish-e-Mohammed as well as Masood Azhar. But at the same time, India has been speaking about this, the reforms in the United Nations for a very long time. But as you've been mentioning how Pakistan, and China have been blocking those efforts to ban Masood Azhar. Considering that China is one of the key members of the United Nations Security Council, how can India really go ahead with its efforts so that Masood Azhar can be called as a designated terrorist?
As far as it is not just the question of how Masood Azhar can be called designated terrorist. It is one of the major things that how Masood Azhar can be, can be penalized in Pakistan, and how Masood Azhar can be banned with all its activities in Pakistan because he is living in Pakistan's soils. So designating an international terrorism in one issue that has to be taken diplomatically, and Indian government has been taking up this issue with China time and again. I don't know that China has a tactical alignment with Pakistan on this issue, that and it is a duplicity. Everyone tells that it is China's duplicity, that on the one hand its own Uyghur problem is there. They are facing the terrorism of this sort only in their own state, but still they have a different yardstick for terrorism against India. So China has to be tackled on this issue diplomatically. But the major question remains with Pakistan, who has been sheltering Masood Azhar for so long time, and that Masood Azhar has been involved in all major terrorist activities, including the bombing and suicide bombing time and again. And that is why that India has been talking to all international community that yes, there is a proof, and we have to ban Masood Azhar and its activity on Pakistani soils. So Pakistan has to come up to the terms, and all the Pakistani allies, including China and also its allies in the Middle East. The Crown Prince is coming to Pakistan, and then here also India has some good relations with Saudi Prince also. So he also has to take the dialogue with Pakistan so that Pakistan refrains from terrorist activities. So it is a major diplomatic initiative that has to be taken by India, and I think that India has energized and activated all its guts all across the world, and our missions are actively talking to all stakeholders in the United Nations Security Council and also in the United Nations. You have seen the statement from United Nations Security Council Secretary General, and he has also condemned the incident and has called upon all the nations to fight the terrorist menace. So I think it is the time that the whole world should unitedly condemn this terror activity and also blame Pakistan and also pressurize Pakistan to ban such elements on its soil, because that Pakistan is already getting bankrupt. There are reports that Pakistan has lost all its coffers, and the country is moving with begging balls all over the world. So I think this is the time that world should pressurize Pakistan to come to terms on terrorism, and I think India is activating all its diplomatic energies all across the world to pressurize Pakistan and also take action against Pakistan in United Nations and also United Nations Security Council. And we already have moved a resolution against international terrorism. And I think this is the time that India can show to the world that how one nation is sponsoring terrorism and how one nation is sheltering terrorists, financing it, and this menace has to be tackled. Otherwise, it will not be only detrimental to India's interest, but also interest in the whole Asia. And that talks are going on how to stabilize Afghanistan. And if this tendency continues in Pakistan, the terrorist elements living inside Pakistan and also on the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, they will also be energized.
Yeah.
And the whole world has to understand this situation.
Absolutely.
Now.
The entire world has to understand the situation as well and stand in solidarity with India and against terrorism. Thank you so much, Akhilesh, as well as Panchanan, for joining us and giving all the updates there. Meanwhile, the President, Vice President and the Prime Minister have condemned the attack on security forces convoy. President Ramnath Kovind has condemned the terrorist attack and said that the entire nation stands united in the fight against forces of terror and evil. He also wished a speedy recovery of those injured in the attack. And in a Twitter message, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu expressed shock by the dastardly terrorist attack. Through a Twitter message, the Vice President expressed heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families and prayers for the speedy recovery of the injured. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi called the attack as despicable. He said that the sacrifices of our brave security personnel shall not go in vain. The entire nation stands shoulder to shoulder with the families of the brave martyrs. May the injured recover quickly. And political leaders cutting across party lines also condemn the terrorist attack. Union Minister Arun Jaitley called the attack a cowardly and a condemnable act of terrorists. Saluting the martyred soldiers, Jaitley said that the nation stands united with the families of the martyrs. Terrorists will be given an unforgettable lesson for their heinous act. Chief ministers of several states and a host of other leaders have also condemned the attack and expressed condolences with the families of the martyred soldiers. BJP President Amit Shah called it an act of cowardice and expressing his condolences. Amit Shah said that our forces will remain firm against such acts of terror and defeat them. Congress leader Sonia Gandhi said that she was outraged by the barbarous attack on the CRPF convoy. In a statement, she called for those responsible for the attack be brought to justice and made to pay for this appalling act. She also expressed condolences to the victims. And Congress President Rahul Gandhi also prayed for the speedy recovery of the injured. In a Twitter message, he wrote, "I'm deeply disturbed by the cowardly attack on the CRPF convoy in Jammu and Kashmir, in which many of our brave CRPF men have been martyred and a large number wounded, some critically. My condolences to the families of our martyrs." Former Chief Ministers of Jammu and Kashmir, including Mehbooba Mufti and Omar Abdullah, also condemned the attack, extending prayers for the injured and condolences to the families of the bereaved. And let's listen to some of the reactions that we've been getting from leaders condemning the terrorist attack in strongest words.
No, certainly this is a dastardly act and done out of desperation. There is no second opinion about it, just as rightly the Honourable Prime Minister has said, the Honourable Home Minister has said, and this is not going to be spared. Nobody is going to be spared. Those who have done this, those who have perpetrated, those who have supported it.
और ये जानकर ही इस तरीके का डरपोक हमला किया गया है और इस आईडी ब्लास्ट में हमारे जवानों को जो शहादत मिली है, ये देश का हर नागरिक इसको भूलेगा नहीं। देश के लिए उन्होंने अपना बलिदान दिया है, लेकिन इतना कहकर भी हम सरकार खामोश बैठने वाली नहीं है। ये बहुत दुखद है, हम लोगों को चैलेंज के रूप में हम इसको देखते हैं और इस घटना का हिसाब चुकता होगा।
शहीद जवानों के लिए और मैं उनके परिवारों को कहना चाहती हूँ कि इस दुखद घड़ी में एक एक देशवासी आपके साथ है। हम सबको बहुत दुख हुआ है। आप हौसला बनाए रखें, आपके साथ कंधे से कंधे मिलाकर हम खड़े हैं।
And world leaders have also condemned the deadly Pulwama terror attack. The United States has called on all the countries to deny safe haven and support to terrorists. In a statement, U.S. State Department said that it was resolutely committed to working with the Indian government to combat terrorism in all its forms. State Department Deputy Spokesperson Robert Palladino also extended his deepest condolences to the deceased paramilitary personnel and their families. United Nations too has strongly condemned the terror attack against security personnel in Pulwama. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for those behind the attack to be brought to justice.
We strongly condemn attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Pulwama district and express our deepest condolences to the families of those who lost their lives and to the government and people of India. We of course wish a speedy recovery to those injured and call for those behind the attack to be brought to justice.
And in a statement to Prime Minister Modi, Russian President Vladimir Putin expressed condolences and said that the perpetrators of the attack must be brought to justice. He also said that Russia stands with India to further strengthen cooperation in terror. Britain's Foreign Secretary has expressed a shock over the brutal and senseless act of terror. Neighbouring countries including Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Nepal and Maldives have also strongly criticised the attack on Indian soldiers. Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe described it as the worst terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir since 1989. Foreign ministers of Maldives and Bhutan also expressed solidarity with the Modi government following the attack. Bangladesh Prime Minister has extended support to India to fight terror jointly after the Pulwama attack, and other countries, including Canada, Australia, Israel, have said that the international community will continue to work with India to combat terrorism in the region and the world at large. Let's get to some other news now. Central Board of Secondary Education, or the CBSE, will organize the Senior Secondary or the Class 10 and Higher Secondary or the Class 12 annual board examinations from today. The exams will span for the next 1.5 months in various centres across the country and abroad. According to the data released by the board, more than 31 lakh candidates have registered for appearing in the board examinations 2019, out of which 13 lakh students will appear for the Class 12 test across the country from today. The board examinations will be held in 4,974 centres across India and 78 centres abroad. For the board examination, in total, 3 lakh officials in the Central Superintendent, Deputy CS, investigators, Chief Nodal Supervisors and Head Examiners as well as evaluators will be checking the proper conduct of the examination. Moreover, the Class 10 and Class 12 exams are being held for students from 21,400 CBSE affiliated schools in the country and 225 abroad. In a letter to the parents of all who are appearing for the CBSE examinations this year, the board has requested to follow certain rules before and during the exams, and as per CBSE, students without school uniform will not be allowed to take the exam. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will flag off India's first semi-high-speed train, Vande Bharat Express from New Delhi railway station today. The Prime Minister will inspect the facilities and address the gathering at the New Delhi station. Railway Minister Piyush Goyal and the members of the Railway Board will be on board the train on its inaugural journey from Delhi to Varanasi. The train will travel from Delhi to Varanasi in 9 hours and 45 minutes. Now, this includes a stoppage time of 40 minutes each at Kanpur and Allahabad, where there will be special programs. The semi-high-speed train 18, which has been recently named as Vande Bharat Express, can run up to a maximum speed of 160 kilometers per hour. With a total seating capacity of 1,128 passengers, the train has 16 air-conditioned coaches, of which 2 are executive class. Adding up the green footprint, the train has a regenerative braking system which can save up to 30% of electrical energy. The integral coach factory in Chennai is the force behind the completely in-house design and the manufacture of this train, which has been completed in just 18 months. The train's first commercial run will be on 17th of February. All right, we have with us our colleague Anu Diwan joining us. Anu, what are the updates? What are the details you can tell us about the flagging off of the Vande Bharat Express today?
Aishwarya, as per the scheduled time, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be flagging off the Vande Bharat Express from New Delhi railway station platform on its scheduled time. This train will be a very is a very big achievement for India, as it's the first Make in India initiative which is being fulfilled today, and the Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be flagging off this train at 10 o'clock as per his scheduled time. Aishwarya, we are now at the railway station, and we can see that the preparations have been done and the train is at the platform. And also the booking for the general passengers is now open for the train. Although today is the inaugural flag off, but the train will be available for other passengers from the next week, and the booking is also available for them. They can avail this facility from next week, and the train will be running between Delhi to Varanasi and vice versa. And the biggest thing is that it will be reducing the travel time from Delhi to Varanasi and Varanasi to Delhi. As we have seen that Delhi and Varanasi are the tourist places where not tourists from all over India come here, go to Varanasi, not only from India but from foreign countries also, as they are keen into the city, holy city, knowing about the Varanasi. So this train will be a very big experience for them, as it will reduce their travel time, and they will be traveling through this semi-high speed train. This train, Aishwarya, today PM will be flagging this train, and Piyush Goyal will be travelling in this train with other media members. But this train will be available for other passengers from next week, which is scheduled, I think, from 17th of February. The first train will go from Delhi. Schedule is run from 6 o'clock from Delhi, and will reach Varanasi around 2 o'clock. And from Varanasi, it will then run from 3 o'clock, and then will reach Delhi at 11 o'clock. The train will have only 2 stoppages, one at Prayagraj and Kanpur.
All right.
Aishwarya.
Right. Thank you so much, Anu, for all those updates there. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to flag off Shatabdi's successor, Vande Bharat Express, today. Thank you so much. On to some sports news now. Olympic silver medalist PV Sindhu has sailed into the last 4 stage, and former world number 1 Saina Nehwal has reached the quarterfinals of the women's singles at the National Badminton Championship in New Delhi. Sindhu went about her business as usual, beating Riya Mukherjee 21-16, 21-7 in just 28 minutes to progress to the semi-finals. The top seed from Hyderabad, the former champion, had opened her campaign with a win over Nagpur's Malvika Bansod in the morning. Saina Nehwal, meanwhile, just took under half an hour to register a 21-11, 21-10 win against Shruti Mandana. She will next play Neha Pandit in the quarterfinals. In the men's singles, Lakshya Sen and Kaushal Dharmamar progressed into the last 4 with straight game wins over their respective opponents. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching.